Mari's Scavenger Hunt is an adventure fiction story. The events in it are exciting and surprising, but the story did not actually happen.
Mari's Scavenger Hunt by Susan Corman. Illustrated by Holly Gall. Chapter 1. What time is it, Oba-chan? Mari asked for the third time that morning. Grandmother looked up from her pot on the stove. She was making miso soup. You must learn to wait, Mariko, she said. It is only noon. The party doesn't start until 3 o'clock. Mari let out a sigh. Why was it so hard to wait sometimes?
Have you ever been very excited about something and had to wait? What did you do to make the time go more quickly?
Every year, Mari's family had a big party. Her aunts, uncles, and cousins came. So did several of the Ota's neighbors. This year, Mari had planned a new game for the party, a scavenger hunt. Each team would have to find 8 objects in the neighborhood. Mari hoped it would be a lot of fun. Mari's mother hurried into the kitchen. Mariko, she said, there is so much to do. Why are you just sitting there? Sorry, Mom, answered Mari. She jumped to her feet. Soon, Mari was busy sweeping floors and making beds. Next, her mother asked her to move some chairs to the porch. Mari carried 2 folding chairs outside. It was a sunny afternoon. Mr. Evans was in the yard with his grandson, Jason. Mari waved to them. Hello, Mari, Mr. Evans called to her. What a great day for a party. Mr. Evans lived on the lower floor of the building. The Otas lived upstairs. Mr. Evans came to their party every year. He always brought a salad made with the vegetables from his garden. Mari started to set up the chairs on the porch. Just then, she felt someone's eyes on her. She saw her new neighbor watching her from the yard next door. Hello, Mrs. Perez, Mari called. The woman answered back. Excuse me? Mari could not understand what she said. Mrs. Perez didn't reply. Instead, she went back inside. Suit yourself, Mari thought. She had tried to speak to Mrs. Perez several times before. Each time, Mrs. Perez had turned away. Mari wished her neighbor would be more friendly, but she wasn't going to let it upset her. Not today, the day she'd been waiting for. Chapter 2. By 4 o'clock, the Ota's apartment was filled with guests. Grandmother and Mr. Ota handed around cheese and crackers and spicy ginger mushrooms. Mari explained the scavenger hunt to everyone. She broke the group into pairs. Then she handed each team a sheet of paper. Here is the list of objects you will need to find, she said. Button, tea bag, old newspaper, drinking straw, business card, pink flower, subway map, bus token.
What kinds of things would you have friends look for on a scavenger hunt?
Is there a prize for the winning team? Mari's cousin Steve asked. He was 19 and went to college. Mari was glad he was her partner. Yes. Mari held up a small card. The winners will share a gift card for the bookstore. Cool, Steve said. Let's go. Finally, everyone was ready. Grandmother blew a whistle to start the hunt. Mari and Steve ran downstairs and outside. They quickly found the first 3 objects on the list. Their next stop was a bodega. The owner of the food store gave them a straw and a business card. Soon, Mari and Steve had every object but the pink flower. Mari stopped to think. Mrs. Lewis sold flowers nearby, but it was after 5 o'clock and her shop would be closed. Mari could see Mrs. Perez's building down the street. Mrs. Perez had a small garden, Mari remembered. Maybe she had pink flowers. She took Steve's arm. "Come on!" They ran up the steps. Mari knocked on the neighbor's door. She wondered if this was the right thing to do. Mrs. Perez always seemed so unfriendly. What if she shut the door in their faces? Mari knocked again. No one came to the door. "That's strange," Mari said. "Mrs. Perez was home a little while ago. I saw her." "Maybe she went out," said Steve. "Come on." He started down the steps. Mari was about to follow, but something held her in place. It was a sound. A low moan from inside the building. "Steve," Mari whispered. "Wait!" They stood quietly at the door. A faint moan came again. "Someone is in there, Mari," cried Steve. He tried to open the door, but it was locked. "There's a fire escape outside," Mari said. "Maybe we can use it to get in the window." They raced to the side of the building. Steve looked up at the iron stairway several feet above his head. "Here, Mari," he said. "I'll lift you." Mari climbed onto her cousin's back and reached up. She wasn't tall enough to reach the fire escape. Mari jumped down and looked all around. Finally, she spotted some wooden crates next to the building. Together, Steve and Mari dragged the crates over and began stacking them up. Steve climbed up the stack and pulled himself onto the first landing. Mari started her climb. She had almost reached the top when she felt the boxes give way under her feet. "Steve!" Mari cried in panic. Mari threw herself at the fire escape just as the boxes started to fall. Her fingers gripped the metal bars. She had to use all her strength to hang on. Steve reached down and pulled her up. "Are you okay?" "Whew!" Mari sat for a moment, a hand over her heart. "That was close." Just then, the moaning sound came again. This time, it sounded close. "Por favor," someone said softly. "Help me." Mari jumped to her feet. Quickly, she and Steve climbed through the open window behind them. "Oh no," Steve said. Mari drew in a breath. Mrs. Perez lay on the floor, her eyes closed. Next to her lay a ladder and a framed picture. "Mrs. Perez, are you okay?" Mari asked. The woman whispered some words that Mari could not understand. Steve was learning Spanish in college. "I think she's saying she fell and hurt her leg," he said to Mari. "Your leg?" he asked Mrs. Perez in Spanish. "Sí," Mrs. Perez replied. "Yes." Suddenly, Mari figured it out. Mrs. Perez doesn't speak much English, she realized. That's why she seemed so unfriendly. "I'm going to call an ambulance," Steve said. "Mari, you stay with Mrs. Perez." "Okay." Mari sat next to the older woman. She held her hand and told her she would be okay. She wasn't sure if Mrs. Perez understood her. Mrs. Perez kept her eyes closed, not saying anything. Steve hurried back to the room. He spoke to Mrs. Perez in Spanish. Soon, Mari heard sirens in the distance. "At last, help is on the way," she thought thankfully. A few minutes later, the sirens were right outside. Red lights flashed through the dark windows. Steve led 3 paramedics upstairs. One of them checked Mrs. Perez. "It looks like her leg is broken," the paramedic told Mari and Steve. "It was a good thing that you found her. We'll take her to the hospital right away." The paramedics placed Mrs. Perez on a stretcher. Mari followed them outside, where the ambulance was waiting. The rest of Mari's family was lined up on the sidewalk. They watched the scene with worried faces. "Mariko!" Mrs. Ota rushed over. "What happened?" Mari's father ran over too. Everyone else came back from the scavenger hunt an hour ago. When we heard the siren, we thought that maybe you had been hurt. Mari hugged her parents and told them about Mrs. Perez's fall. "I'm sorry," she said. "There wasn't time to call you." Mari looked up as the paramedic slid the stretcher inside the ambulance. "Good luck, Mrs. Perez," she called out. Suddenly, the woman opened her eyes. "Gracias," she said softly. This time, Mari didn't need Steve to explain Mrs. Perez's words. She knew her neighbor was saying thank you. "You're welcome," Mari replied. Chapter 3. Here! Grandmother handed Mari a plate. It was late. Mari was helping Grandmother wash the last of the dishes. "Your scavenger hunt was a big success, Mariko," said Grandmother. "But maybe you should have put new friend on your list instead of pink flower." Mari grinned. Grandmother was joking, but what she said was true. Steve and Mari had found a friend today. Even more, Mari had discovered something about Mrs. Perez. She wasn't unfriendly at all. She was just shy about using her few words of English.
If you met someone that did not speak your language, how could you let them know that you would like to be friends?
Mari dried a few more plates. "I'm already looking forward to next year's party," she told Grandmother. "Mariko," Grandmother shook her head. "I can see that you still haven't learned how to wait." "It's not that I can't wait, Obachan," Mari explained. "It's just that next year's party is going to be better than ever." "And why is that?" "We'll be able to ask another neighbor to come to the party," Mari replied with a smile. "Mrs. Perez."
When you're reading a story, you may see some new words. You'll understand the story better if you know the definitions of the words. Remember, a definition is what a word means. Now here are some words from the story you may have seen for the first time. Drag each definition on the bottom to fit with a word on top.
Welcome to The Choice is Right! It's the fast-paced game where I ask the questions and you choose the answers. Choose carefully and you could be the next Choice is Right champion. Sometimes stories give us information without directly answering our questions. To answer my questions, you'll have to read the text and draw your own conclusions. All right, ready or not, here's question 1. How do you know that Mari is excited about the party? Click the button next to the correct answer. Play ball!
In a story, one event may lead to another. This is called cause and effect. Cause and effect help make the story interesting. Let's see how cause and effect work together in a story. Fit the pieces together. Drag each effect on the bottom to fit with a cause on top. Here's another great writing hint. If your sentences are related, try combining the subjects. Click a spotlight to see just how that works. Andrea ate a sandwich. Erin ate a sandwich. Andrea and Erin ate sandwiches. Andrea and Erin did the same things. Now the subjects are combined to make one sentence. Taylor likes to skate. Chris likes to skate. Taylor and Chris like to skate. Taylor and Chris like the same thing. Do you see how the subjects were combined to make one sentence? My friend wants to go into outer space. I want to go into outer space. My friend and I want to go into outer space. Two people want the same thing, so the subjects can be combined to make one sentence. Next time you write, look for subjects that can be combined into one sentence. Wait till you see how it spiffs up your writing. Click the Go On arrow to go to the next activity. The story about Mari took place in a city neighborhood. This is called the setting. The items on Mari's scavenger hunt list, like subway map and bus token, can easily be found in a city neighborhood. But what if Mari's scavenger hunt took place in a different setting? Would the list of items be the same? Use the spinner to choose a new setting. Create a list of 5 items that Mari and her friends could hunt for in that setting. At a beach. In a store. At school. In a forest. At a Let's find sounds in words. Use your skills to solve this puzzle and uncover the mystery picture. Click each word that begins with the sound stir, string. Looking good. Street. Strong. Nice work. Click each word that begins with the sound
spur,
spray, spread, spring. Good job! Click each word that begins with the sound
fur,
oops, 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 thread, throat, through. Super! You solved the puzzle. Let's learn about verbs. Verbs can describe an action that is taking place now or an action that happened in the past. Most of the time, to make a verb that describes something that happened in the past, you can just add a D or ED to the end of the verb. Like the word wave becomes waved, or start becomes started. These verbs are called regular verbs. But sometimes you have to change the spelling of the word to show that something happened in the past. Today, Mari may find an object, but yesterday she found an object. Today the store owner may give Mari a straw, but yesterday he gave her a straw. Verbs that change their spelling are called irregular verbs. This sentence is missing a verb. Find the verb that completes the sentence and drag it to the blank. Compound words are made up of two separate words that fit together to make one larger word. Click both of these words to make compound words. See how different compound words change the meaning of the sentence. Click the green dot in front of the sentence to hear it read aloud. Ball. They danced all night in the ballroom. When you're finished, click the yellow arrow to see the next sentence. There is no need to be afraid of the fire. Fighter. There is no need to be afraid of the firefighter. She can hit a ball for miles. Base. She can hit a baseball for miles. Basket. She can hit a basketball for miles. I left my bike in my backyard. I left my bike in my backyard. Pack. I left my bike in my backpack. They went swimming in the water. Fall. They went swimming in the waterfall. Click the Go On arrow to go to the next activity. Melon. They went swimming in the watermelon. An adventure fiction story isn't true, but some of its characters or events might be. This is a page from an adventure fiction story. Click the green button to learn about adventure fiction. Adventure fiction stories have characters. Two of the main characters in this story are Mari and Steve. Adventure fiction stories describe the setting. Sometimes the characters move from one location to another within a setting. In this story, Mari lives in the city and goes on a scavenger hunt that takes her to her neighbor's building. In adventure fiction, the main character faces a problem and has to find a solution. This is the plot of the story. Usually, the character faces one big problem and several smaller problems along the way. In this story, Mari's big problem is discovering that Mrs. Perez is in trouble. In an adventure fiction story, there might be excitement, danger, or suspense and you won't be sure what's going to happen next. The characters in adventure fiction often face unknown or unexpected events. Maury and Steve expected to have fun on their scavenger hunt. They ended up having a much bigger adventure when they found Mrs. Perez hurt. When you're ready for some excitement, danger, or suspense, read an adventure fiction story. In this story, Maury made several choices. For example, she and Steve chose to look for a flower in Mrs. Perez's garden. That's how they discovered that Mrs. Perez needed help. This spinner shows other choices Maury could have made. Choose one and use it to write a new ending to the story. Maury went to the flower shop instead of Mrs. Perez's to get a flower. Maury found a different way to get into Mrs. Perez's. New friend was on the list instead of pink flower. Maury chose a 5-year-old cousin as her partner. Maury went to the flower shop instead of Mrs. Perez's to get a flower.